slope is?
Rate of change.
Rate of change. Rate of change, but specifically this rate of change has to be constant. Okay, I heard rise over run. That's a good one. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. There's one that has triangles in it. What is it?
Delta Y over delta X.
Delta Y over delta X. That just means change in Y over change in X. Anything else?
Y is mx plus b.
It has to be a straight line. Y equals mx plus b. That'll be point slope form. Okay? I'm going to show y'all the slope man. Y'all ever seen him before? Okay? So here's the deal. Slope man has got some positive eyes, and he's winking. He's got a negative eye. Positive eye, negative eye. Okay? Then he has to have a nose and a mouth. Okay? He has to have a nose and a mouth. But the only way you're going to know what a positive line looks like is if you give him an eyebrow.
Oh.
Okay? And then you got to give him another eyebrow for your negative line. And that nose, he can't breathe out of it yet because you didn't give him any nostrils.
What's that?
Okay?
Oh,
A U
no.
for undefined. Okay? And now that you've started drawing him and you've talked about him all the time, he's a little embarrassed, so you got to make him blush a little bit.
What are those?
Those are zeros. So there's our slope guy. Okay? We're going to talk about 4 different types of slope today. A positive slope that goes up, a negative slope that's going to go down, an undefined slope because we're going to have some vertical lines here, and then we're going to have a slope of 0 on horizontal lines. So we're going to talk about that. Now, if we're given a graph, how do we find slope?
You look at the 2 points. 2 points that intersect.
Perfect. 2 points that intersect perfectly in a crosshair. Okay? I know that this is a weird subject and I'm a weirdo for saying this, but how many of you have ever shot a gun before? Okay? Have you ever looked through a scope? Okay? So that's what we need to see our little ordered pairs or our coordinate plane as. This is our little scope. Okay? We've got to make sure our points are perfectly within our crosshair. So, find me a perfect point on this line, please.
Negative 3, 0.
Negative 3, 0. That's a perfect one. I like it.
And 1 and 0. Oh, 0, negative, 0 and 1.
0 and 1. Perfect. Would y'all agree with them? Can y'all find any other perfect points?
3 and... I think that's
3 and 2.
Yes. Any more?
6 and 3.
6, 3.
9 and 4.
9 and 4. Negative 6 and 1. Negative 9 and 2. Okay? There's a lot of perfect points on this graph. We only need to use how many?
2.
2 of them. Okay? Because when we're given a graph, we have to find our
Rise over run.
rise over run. Okay? Again, you only need 2 points. Doesn't matter which 2 points you use. It's good whatever you do, whatever you decide. Okay? So I'm going to put my rise on top of on the top line, and my run below. Which 2 points would y'all like to use?
The positive ones.
Positive ones? Perfect. Okay. Let's do this one and this one.
No,
Okay? So how far up am I going to go?
2.
2. So my rise is 2. Okay? And from this point that I drew, how far am I running? 6. Did I backpedal or did I run like a normal human? Okay. So make sure we've got a positive 6 there. Now ask yourself, which direction is the line going?
To the right.
To the right. Is it going up to the right or down to the right?
Up to the right.
It's going up to the right. So that means what type of slope should I have?
Positive.
Positive. Now, look at this word right here. This is an important word. What do you have to do? Simplify. So in your calculator, you're going to type in 2 divided by 6. And we're going to press math, enter, enter, and what are we going to get? 3. 1 over 3. Are we okay with that?
Yep.
Now remember, that means every time I go up 1, I go right 3. So if I rose 1 and ran 3, I would run into another dot. If I rose 1 and ran 3, I would run into another dot. Does everybody see that?
Oh, yeah.
Are we okay with this? Do you see why slope is constant? It stays the same through the whole line. So now let's go here. They already found me 2 points, which is nice. Okay? So I'm going to do my what over what?
Rise over run.
Rise over run. I'm going to start on the point that's to the left. And where do I go?
-3, 5.
Okay? -3, 5. But it's already dotted for me. So if I'm starting at this point on the left, do I go down or do I go up?
Down.
I go down how far?
9.
Down 9. So that means my rise is down 9. I didn't rise much. Okay? Now my run is which way?
Right.
Right. So is it positive or negative? Positive which way? How many?
9.
Positive 9. What direction is my line going?
Right. Down over down.
Down. So that means what type of slope should I have?
Negative.
Negative. And then I have to
Simplify.
simplify. -9 divided by 9 is?
1. -1.
-1. You just told me my slope should be negative, so your answer needs to be negative. Okay? What all that means, guys, if I had to make this as a rise over run, how would I make -1 into a fraction? -1 over 1, right? So I would go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Does everybody see this slope? Does this make sense to you? It's constant, right? Okay, let's go talk about this guy. I need a point. Tell me a point.
-1, -1.
Perfect. I need another point.
-2, -1.
Perfect. Got 2 points there. So how do I find slope?
Rise over run.
Rise over run. Okay. So rise on top. If I go from this point, how do I rise to be even with my other point?
0.
0. I didn't rise anything. Okay? Then I move to run. If I'm here, how do I run?
1.
Positive 1. What direction is the line going?
Both.
Horizontally. Okay? And then go simplify. What's 0 divided by 1? Don't say it till you checked it in your calculator.
0.
0. Okay? So remember I told you we were going to learn about 4 different types of line. A positive line, a negative line, a horizontal, and a vertical. Right? Okay? So let's go talk about the vertical. We got 5 minutes before lunch and then we'll pause. Okay? Let's talk about the vertical. Now, I'm on a graph, so that means I'm going to do what over what? Rise over run. But I have to have 2 perfect points first. Help me out.
3, 0.
3, 0. Okay.
3, 1.
And 3, 1?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, if I'm rising from the bottom to the top, how far do I go? 1. What comes next? My run. Do I have to run anywhere?
No.
No, so what do I put?
0.
0. What direction is this graph going?
Vertical.
Vertical. Okay? Now go simplify.
1.
Nope. Read in your calculator what it says. 1 divided by 0. What does it say specifically?
Error.
Error what? Error. Divide. Hold on. I need you all to write this down so you understand what's going on. Error. Divide by 0. So guess what our answer is when we can't answer.
Undefined.
If it was 0, wouldn't it say 0 in my calculator?
Probably.
So if we can't find the right answer,
Undefined.
it is undefined.
I think I said that like 8 times.
Okay, now here's the cool thing, guys. I'm going to show you something, and this is actually just an acronym that we'll use for the rest of the year, and we use it for our horizontal and vertical lines, okay? So our horizontal line, what does horizontal start with? H. What was my slope?
Horizontal.
What was my slope for a horizontal line?
0.
0. And what axis does this line touch? My y-axis. So from now on, when we talk about horizontal lines, we're going to call them hoi, because it tells us it's horizontal, slope is 0, it goes through the y-axis. So now do me a favor. What do you think vertical lines are going to look like?
Hoi.
No.
Boy.
Well, it's going to start with V for vertical.
Hoi.
What's its slope?
What?
U.
You.
U for undefined.
Hoi.
And what axis does it cross?
X.
Bucks.
So, we've got hoi and bucks. Hoi means what? Horizontal.
Horizontal 0.
Slope is 0. Goes through the y-axis. What does bucks mean?
Vertical.
Vertical. Undefined. Goes through the x-axis. Okay, before lunch, here's what I want you to do. I want you to work on this practice, the first 6 problems. Ready, set, go.